Can you support a candidate in 2024 who's for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, it's early. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the primary. I think at the end of the day, you will say whoever the Republicans end up pick, I'll fall in behind because that's...
Even if it's Donald Trump and he's called for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, I think it's going to be a big field.
So there were a lot of words said there by Representative David Joyce, but the words I heard were not including, no, I'm not gonna support the guy who a couple years before the election is already talking about how if he gets in a mood, he can cancel the Constitution. It's a very easy response to give, one would think, difficult for Representative David Joyce, and George Stephanopoulos actually pressed him on that here.
I don't think Donald Trump's going to clear out the field like he did in 2016.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you if he's the nominee, will you support him?
I will support whoever the Republican nominee is. And I just don't think that at this point he'll be able to get there because I think there's a lot of other good quality candidates out there.
It's a remarkable statement. You'd support a candidate who's come out for suspending the Constitution?
Well, you know, he says a lot of things. You have to take him in context. And right now, I have to worry about making sure as a Republican governance group and a Republican majority that we make things work for American people. And I can't be really chasing every one of these crazy statements that come out from any of these candidates.
Okay, that would be convenient. The idea that it's an inconvenience for you to have to chase his statements. We're not expecting you to chase his statements. You can actually stay seated exactly where you are. We will bring a really concerning one to you, and then you have to reveal who you are. And I believe that he did, Brad.
You ever have someone who brings their dog over to your house and it won't stop barking and maybe it pees once someplace? And then you try to bring it up to the person and they're like, what do you want me to say? It's my dog.
Yep,
but instead of a dog, it's a Wolverine that has rabies and the house is a China shop. And he's like, essentially, I mean, this guy's essentially saying, don't make me say it, George.
Yeah,
please. Well, and also we've been through all of this before. Every single bit of this we have been through before. I can't say I'm not gonna support the nominee. We all know I don't want to support the nominee. We all know I didn't want to support Trump before. And people in that category include like Lindsey Graham, who said he is a terrible person multiple times on TV. And the stronger words we heard than that were from McConnell a few days ago when he said, when you go and have dinner with Nazis, that's not the kind of person that will be elected, that will ever and should ever be elected president of the United States. But they all know the game they're playing. They all know, as much as they accuse us of living in 1984, when we tell people, no, here's the words we actually want you to use and we want them to be accurate. They're the ones who can't say the thing they want to say. They're double talking out their butthole.
I'm curious, since you're a member of the Intelligence Committee, what use could a former president have for classified or top secret information once he's left office? Why bring it home with him to Florida?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you have to ask him, but certainly we all know that every former president has access to their documents. It's how they write their memoirs. They don't have great recall of everything that's occurred in their administration.
They can't remember everything that happened, so sometimes you take some documents home, you do a little bit of selly-welly on the, dark eBay, just between like world leaders. Selly-welly, that's my word. That is Ohio Representative Mike Turner claiming that now Trump probably took the documents because he's trying to write his memoir. Right, guys? You know how Trump is such a prolific writer? Is this going to be in all caps? I am very excited. How many, like the word cloud will just be like 5 words. Sad, great, what else? Very tremendous, lots of tremendous. Just all caps. It'll be the hardest thing to read ever. And obviously mostly pictures. In fact, let's just look into whether there's any validity to this. Just is he working on a memoir? So far, no. No plans to write a memoir. The former president released a photo book, though, of his time in the White House, for which he contributed the captions. Oh, that's like writing. Here I am, yelling at a kid, mowing the lawn. He said last year that he was writing the book of all books about his term as president, but is yet to sign a publishing deal. The book of all books. The best part about it is you don't have to read it. Just pictures, scratch and sniff, little fuzzy wuzzies, like it is Pat the Bunny, but like Pat the President, which I feel like he would be into. No, he's not writing a memoir, Dan, and here's why he's not, is because it would mean that his terms were over. If he's writing a reflection of what had happened, that means what had happened is done. And my man wants to run for president again in 2024. So I don't think, sorry, Mike Turner, that he's writing a memoir.
Yeah, this GOP lawmaker all like, oh, this is Donald Trump, just like Maggie Haberman, or just like, Michael Wolff writing Fire and Fury. He's just saving all the juicy stuff so he can release it in his book a couple years from now for the book tour. That's how he's gonna get attention for it. Obviously, he's gonna take the classified documents because that's going to go in his next, the book of all books, Art of the Steal, how I actually won the election, and the steal has actually nothing to do with the documents that I stole. Those I just kept in very safe manila envelopes, as Rudy Giuliani told you. Now, yes. I can't possibly imagine this, but I don't know. We're connoisseurs of right-wing excuses and lies, and January 6th has just caught everyone in 4K. Like, they just have nothing to say about it. writing in a memoir, that is one of the worst excuses I've heard, and I've heard some really bad excuses over the past couple weeks.